stopped at a point where we started looking at Bootstrap. So if you're really new here and you've never practiced anything, I really recommend you to go to our previous videos and watch them and practice them until you reach this point so you can proceed with us. But if you've been practicing up to Bootstrap level, then it's okay. We can go together at the same place. So without wasting much time, we're going to review from where I stopped at in the previous video. As you can see, I've already opened my project, and here it is the Bootstrap folder that I used to do what? To practice in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this Bootstrap folder in the VS Code so I can start looking at different topics of Bootstrap. So I've opened my VS Code is here. So to load this project, I'm just going to press Ctrl O and then go to desktop and then go to GitHub and then go to Bootstrap. Sorry, this here, and then Learn Web and then Bootstrap. So this is where I save mine, and I'll go ahead and open it to load, and that is what we practiced in the previous classes. So let me go ahead and open it in the browser and see what's stopped at. So I'll come to the browser and press Ctrl O and then navigate to where my project is. It's on desktop, on GitHub, and then in the Apple month, and then Learn Web, and then Bootstrap, and then one of these files. So we stopped at this point where we could look at these different leaves and look at the container fluid and just contain. So that's what we practiced at the previous video. And if you come here, you see that I've opened these files, and you have this file and also this one. So if you've been following, you're not lost. You know where we are to at this point. But if you've not been following, I really recommend you to go to the previous videos and watch them. But still, if you have some good grounds on Bootstrap, on HTML, still you can proceed with that without even watching the previous video. So this was the third video, and I'll say that we'll be following W3 School's syllabus of Bootstrap. So I'll go ahead and open my W3 schools.com, and then I'll go to the tutorials, come to Bootstrap, and then Bootstrap 4, and then typography. So these are the notes that I referred you to. Go and check out. I hope you come and check them out. So we're going to proceed to colors. Okay. So in Bootstrap we have different colors, and these colors are organized in this format. We have a primary color, which is a blue color, as you can see it here. Then we have a success color, which is this red one. Then we have this info color, which is the light blue, this one that you can see. And then we have the warning, which is yellow. We have the danger, which is red. And then we have the secondary color, which is kind of gray. And then the dark color, which is black. And then the light color, which is white. So these are the colors that we have in Bootstrap, but it does not limit you from using your own colors. But these colors are named in Bootstrap in a way that we can refer to them. For example, in Bootstrap, if you want to refer to background, you have to start with a class of BG. So if you say BG, in Bootstrap you refer to what? To background. And if you say text, so as I've said that even if you say this is dark background and you don't specify it, of course, to not look dark. So if you want to say this one to have a dark background, what you do, you have to add the dark class, or the class that is specified to be dark. So how shall we do it? Just simply come here and add class and then say BG. So if you want to refer to dark, to background, you just simply put BG and then dot and then the name of the class of Bootstrap. So and just simply come and say here BG dark. So if you say BG dark, this is going to have a dark background. So if I come and refresh, you see we have the dark background. So you can simply say BG dark and then say text white. So BG dark, you see, then the background is dark and the text is what? Is white. So I can come and say this is danger background. So I can simply say danger, save, come and refresh. You see, this is danger background, and it looks white. So you can as well come and say this is info background. So the color of info will look like this one. Okay, so that is how we color. So if you want to target the background, just put BG and then the color context. If you want to put if you want to target the text, you just need to put text and then color context. By doing like that, you can target or play with different Bootstrap colors to color your project. If you want to understand these colors, they are simple. As long as you practice them, you live and memorize them simply with simplicity. For example, just say this one is what? Is BG, primary. And then you can say this is primary. So come and save and refresh, you see, is dark, which is primary. So you can know them in your head, and this is their what? Their name. Okay? One text, you want to target the text, just put text. You want to target the what? The background, put BG. Okay? So by doing like that, you'll be able to understand different colors of Bootstrap. So come in your free time and do what and practice these colors. So proceed to the next topic, which is Bootstrap tables. So Bootstrap can help us to design our tables, as you can see. So we have this class called table, and it will do this magic by making our table look good before we do anything on it. When we add this class of table, what on our project? I mean on the table in our project. So we have table stripped. Table stripped will make one color to be. We'll have the table to be stripped. One row to be kind of having the background of gray, and then the other row having the background of what? Oh, that is not gray. That is table stripped. We have another one called table bordered. It will put borders on our what? On our table. We have another one called table hoover. This one will make our table to be hooverable. So with that said, let us go ahead and see how can we make this one. So to do that, I will go ahead and create another file called Bootstrap tables. So I'll come here to our files and come and create a new file. Okay, I'm going to call it number 5 underscore bootstrap tables.html. And then there I'll put our HTML file and then come and say Bootstrap tables. And then after doing that, I'm just going to come here and now create our simple table. So don't forget to import Bootstrap. So I can come ahead and copy just this link. Import Bootstrap and then come and add it here. So let's go ahead and create our tables here. Okay. So I'll come in between the body and create our table. So just write table, and then this table, of course, will have a header. So I'll say T head, and then in this T head I'll give it TR, which is table row, and then I can put table head. It's going to be the head content. So I can put maybe ID, and then put maybe name, and then maybe put country, and then maybe put gender. Okay, gender. Okay, so after doing that, I'll come up with this table head and then define the table body, which is T body. Okay, T body, like that. So between table bodies, I'm going to inserting the what? The rows. So just simply put TR and then put TD, table data. So in this row, we begin the ID, maybe 001, and then we come and put the name, maybe Hindumara, and then put the gender is male, and then put the country maybe. So after doing that, we create another row. Okay. So you make sure that these are matching with this one. Just go ahead and create another row. So I'll just copy this and duplicate it. Okay. So it's going to be 002, and come and put maybe Boambale, Mohitin, and maybe his male, and comes from Kenya, and then come and put 00 0 what 003, and then put Joan Doe, and she's female and she comes from UK, and then is it and the SA maybe it comes from USA. Okay, so we come and put another person 4, and then maybe put here Juliana Kanyomozi, she's female and she comes from Tanzania. And then lastly, just for demonstration, lastly, let's go ahead and another last row. It's going to be ID number 5, and come and say Adija 2, just say she's female and she comes from Gambia. Okay, save. Let's go ahead and open this. Okay, this is just our simple table that we created. Let's go ahead and open it. So come here, press Ctrl O, and then come and open Bootstrap tables here. No, yes, there. So if you see, that is our table. It is just in the shape of table, but does not make that much sense. Does not look like real table. So to make it look like real table, we just implement this class of Bootstrap called table. So come here in the table tag and add a class called table. Save, refresh, boom. You see, our table can start making sense. So we have that well organized. We have made it 100% width for the container that contains it. We have added these bottom rows, and the table can now start making sense. Okay, so after doing that, let's go ahead and see more classes of Bootstrap that we can add on a Bootstrap table. So they said there's another class called table stripped, and this table stripped will make our table to have kind of what of strips. So let's go ahead and add that. So just after adding Bootstrap table, add another class, table stripped. Save, come and refresh. Let write a correct spelling. Make sure write a correct spelling, single P, not double P. So table stripped, save, come and refresh. You see, our table is having one row is colored and it's having some kind of light gray background, and the other row has just plain color, which is white. So it is kind of stripped, zebra crossing. Okay, so zebra crossing. Kind of zebra, gray and not gray, So if you want your table to be looking like that, you just simply add that stripped. Let me go ahead and duplicate this column so it can make much more sense. So it can make much more sense to duplicate. Save, come and refresh. So you see, strip. That's what we mean by strip. And how do you do it? Just simply add table strip, and then you'll be good. So after adding table strip, let's go ahead and look at another class, table bordered. This will add borders on our table, every corner. You see here we have only the bottom borders, but if you add this class called tablet dash bordered, save, table bordered will add the borders on our table. So you can see our table is having no borders. Okay, it's having borders across all. So it is becoming a real table now. Okay, and that is the power of Bootstrap. So let's surround this one with the class of container. Class contain. Save, so you can see what the table store class. Okay, so you can just duplicate maybe B3. I'll explain what is meant by B3. So you can see it is now kind of a table. It's real table now by just simply adding table bordered, and so if you remove table stripped, it will just be on the table bordered. Okay, see, it's just now the table bordered. So that's how we create tables. and make them look good. So you have table hoover. This table hoover will make our table to be hooverable. So you just simply add it there. Table hover, table hover. So if you come and refresh, you see now our table is hooverable. When I move my mouse, I can see which row I'm pointing at. This becomes important when you're having too much data. Let us say maths of so many students, or you're having a lot of transactions in a single table and you want to know which one you're pointing at. So you just put with this class, you can know which row it is being pointed at. And that is called table hoover. And that class you can add it there in the head of the table. So we proceed. We have another called table dark. So this table dark will apply the dark color in your in your table and make it have a dark background. So just simply come and add table dark, refresh, you see, boom, it's beautiful, right? It's really beautiful. So you see having our table in the dark mode. So if you're creating an application that supports dark mode, so just simply add this dark table dark, and then your table will have a dark mode. The text will be white and the background will be what? Will be dark. You just simply add that table dark. So it means that we can even use our contextual colors. We come and add this one, table primary. What will happen? Our table will have that kind of primary color. So if you come and say table danger, the table will be kind of what? Kind of red, as you can see. So, but table dark is the important class that you can use when creating a project with dark mode. And you just simply add that class of table dark. So we proceed. We have table dark stripped. This one will make the dark table to be kind of stripped. So table dark stripped, just add that class there, and then you have the table of dark to be kind of stripped. Can you see? This one is so much dark, and then another one is kind of light dark. And then because we have that our table hoover class, that's why you can see I'm able to tell which row I'm pointing at. With what? With the table hoover. Okay, so we proceed to table borderless. Okay, it's another important class also. Table borderless. This one will remove all the table borders. First, remove this table dark so you can see refresh. Okay, so sometimes we need to create a design where the table is borderless. So you just simply add table borderless. So let me remove this border because we need to contradict it. Save, come and refresh, and then you can see our table does not have any kind of border. There is no border around it. So if we remove also this script, you see our content is in the table and also this table class. Okay. So remove. See, our table is in the context but does not have what? These side borders, and that's the use of what? Table borderless, not borderless, not working. That's how I expect it. Okay. So after adding the table border, after looking at the table borderless, then you have the contextual colors. I've already discussed them, that you can still use table danger, table dark, table success. Okay. These are the contextual colors that you can come and play with. So there is also table table. You can make the tables responsive. So to make the table responsive, let me show you. For example, if this table, just right click and then say inspect. So when you say inspect, they will show you how this table will look like on the mobile phone. So let me select Samsung. Just click on top and then click on Samsung key, Samsung Galaxy. So they will show you that this is how the table will look like. So you can see that on a new name it is being broken into twice. But if you want to make it kind of responsive, what you do, you just surround it with a div and add there a class called table responsive. And this is how it's done. So I'm going to collapse everything here and maybe cut it. Okay, and then create a div. And then inside this div I can add a table. Okay, and then outside this div, this div that is surrounding the table, I give it a class called table responsive. This class, table responsive. So go ahead and give it, and then we'll see what will happen. So if you do like that and come and refresh, our table will be responsive. Can you see? I'm able to hover it like this. So even if you have too much, maybe more rows or more columns, our table will be able to do what? To be moved from left to right, and that's what they call responsive. Okay, and you do that by just simply surrounding the table with a class called table responsive. So that's it about tables. Now we can proceed to images. So with Bootstrap, it gives us different things that we can do with images. For example, you can create an image and give it rounded corners. You can create an image and make it circular. You can create an image and give it a class of thumbnail. Let us go ahead and see how Bootstrap can help us deal with images. So I'll just simply come here and create another file. I click new file, and I'm going to call it file number 6 underscore bootstrap images.html. Doing that, let's go ahead and write our basic HTML inside there, and then come and put here bootstrap images. Don't forget to import bootstrap.css. So I'll come here and add a number 5. This is number 5. So I come here and add bootstrap CSS. So I'm going to put here some images in my project, the one that I'm going to use to practice with. So to do that, I'll just simply come here, get here some images. I'll get some image, this one, maybe this one. Okay. Let me see some images. Get some images and I put them in my project for demonstration. Come here. Let me get here just some 2 random images. Okay, 3 random images. Copy them. Maybe this one. Just random images. So I'll come to a project. It is in GitHub. It is in this month. Learn Web, Bootstrap. I'm going to put there some images paste. Okay. Or if you want to keep your work organized, just try to create a new folder and call it images, ING. Okay. So inside that folder, paste their images. So I have 3 images. Let me rename them to make them simpler for us. We have 1 image, and then we have another image called 2, another image called 3. So after doing like that, let's go ahead and see how we can implement these images. So I'll come to our project. So you see, I have this project with these images. So let's go ahead and add these images here. So just simply come here and put img, and then this is going to be, the SR is going to be img, so that is the folder stroke 1.jpg, and then just create another one, 2.jpg, and the third one 3.jpg. We put here some real tags so we can create some separation between the classes. Between the elements of HTML. So we have just put there those images. Let's go ahead and open this file in browser. So I come in browser, press Ctrl O, and then first close this inspection. Press Ctrl O, and then come and open Bootstrap images.html. Oh, they are so big. Okay. Let's go ahead and give them what? And give them width. So to give them width, I'll just simply come and say maybe width, maybe 50%. So that they should not occupy the whole device or the whole screen. Save. Come and refresh. At least you can see they are 50%. Okay. So these are images. Let me add some more BR tags so I can separate them. So come and refresh. I should be able to add these images in your project. Okay. So now Bootstrap gives us different things, different classes that you can use to create different images. Like the first class is called BG. It's called rounded. So this rounded will have some, it will add some rounded corners on our image. So you can see this image does not have round corners. Let us first put this one into container. So class container, and then also bg maybe dark, bg dark, and then maybe p fine. Save, come and refresh, we have something like this, okay? Something like that. So if you want to add what you call container, rounded, it will try to create some rounded corners on this image. So to do that, just simply come this image and add a class called round. So if you save, so I hope you'll observe that our image is now kind of cornered. Can you see that corner thing? This one is not as same as this one. Why? Because this one has got some corners. And how do you add those corners? We add those corners by just simply adding a class called rounded. Okay, that rounded will add the corners on our Bootstrap file, as you can see on our images, as you can see there. So we proceed to another class of Bootstrap that you can use to create image. Is called the rounded circle. So this rounded circle will try to make our image to be halfway rounded. Okay, so we'll try to make it halfway rounded. So if I come and copy that, then come and add this class rounded circle, it will try to make it 100% rounded. This one, can you see? But it is elliptical, it is oval, because the height and width is not equivalent, is not equal. But if you say maybe 8, okay, let's go ahead and create and crop some image and make it a square image. So I'll come here and edit this image. Let me edit this second image. I'm going to make it square. How do I make it square? Just simply come and say tools. Just element something. I'm going to try to make it square. Though I don't have the line. So let me do it in this one. Try to make it square. I'm just editing it and I want to make it kind of square. Make it 2000. And then swap it. Okay, so let me go ahead and crop this guy. Just simply come and click crop, where is crop? Tools, crop, save. So our image, if you come and refresh, can you see? It is the circle, 100% circle. So why? Because it's having equal width, equal height. So if you ever wondered how those profile pictures they are made to be in form of circle, you can do them by simply adding the img circle. By adding a class of corner. No, rounded circle. Then it will make it kind of circle as long as it's having equivalent width, okay, and height. So after doing that, it's called rounded circle. I have another class called thumbnail. So thumbnail will make your class, your image to look like a thumbnail. It will tell thumbnail just tells the user's brain that image is clickable. It is a thumbnail that will lead you to what? The bigger image. So by doing like that, you just simply add img thumbnail to an image. So if I come and add here a class called img thumbnail, if you come and refresh, you see our image will have those kind of surrounded white borders, and that you can tell the user's mind that this image is clickable. You can click on it and maybe open a bigger image. So this is thumbnail, this is rounded circle, and this is just a rounded. So The Bootstrap classes, we can use those classes to play with images. So we have a float right. Float right will make the image to float right. So you can just simply come here in this circle image, add another class, put space and add another class, float right, and this one will make it the image to float right. If you come and refresh, you can see, or maybe I limit it to the container, that's right. Refresh. There is the correct spelling of float right. Oh no, it's not right. Float right, float right, and then white right is not correct. Sorry. Refresh. Can you see? This image has been floated to right. Okay? So that is how can make an image float right. A float left. So if I come here and add maybe float right, left, float left. Save, come and refresh. So this image will be made float left and this will be made what? Float right. So there are the different classes that you can play with Bootstrap images. So we proceed to another one called Jumbotron. So we use Jumbotron when we want to, say just a user interface. We use it when we want to connect, when we want to communicate to the user. Assume that the user has successfully done something, you can use the Jumbotron to communicate to them. And this is how a Jumbotron will look like, okay? And this is how a Jumbotron can be created. You just create a div and then give it a class of Jumbotron. And then inside there, you can put some information inside the Jumbotron, okay? So let's go ahead and practice the Jumbotron class. So I'll go ahead and okay, so let's create the Jumbotron. So to create a Jumbotron, we are going to simply create a new file. So just simply come click here and then click on this create new file. And in fact, this is another icon that you can use to create a new file. So I'll click there and click and write 7 underscore bootstrap jumbotron.html. And then we'll go ahead and create the HTML5 structure and then put here the title Bootstrap Jumbotron. And then after, we'll go ahead and create our div. Okay, so create our div and say div and then we put what you call the heading. Okay, so I can put here like h1 and say success, and then put here another link and then put here as a description and say your account was created successfully. No, whether that's the right spelling. Then you can go ahead and put maybe a button and say login. Now something like that. So let's go ahead and open this. So let us not forget to put the Bootstrap link. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this. So I'll come to our browser, press Ctrl O, and then open number 7 Jumbotron, and then that's what you have. So I've not implemented the classes of Jumbotron. Okay, so let's go ahead and implement them. So what I'll do, I'll first put here maybe a class of container, and maybe put p5. I'll explain what is meant by p5 or p whatever. I'll explain them. So after reaching there, let us now implement the class of Jumbotron here. So to implement the Jumbotron, just put Jumbotron there. So I'll come here and put in this surrounding div and put class Jumbotron. Okay, so if we come and refresh, we'll have a beautiful user interface like this one. Okay, so we can go ahead and put maybe Jumbotron fluid. Okay, Jumbotron fluid. So it will have to reach the surface or the area, the margin of the the title of the Jumbotron. Okay, so we just use this one to communicate, just a good user interface that you may use to communicate to the user. So maybe when you reach to the button, you find things like BTN primary, but you've not reached there. So by doing like that, we can put a BTN success. By doing like that, you'll have a beautiful user interface like this one. Okay, success. Your account was created successfully. Beautiful. Doesn't it look nice? It does look nice. Okay, so we can proceed to alerts. So I'm not connected. As it sounds, alerts, we use them to communicate to users in different contexts. For example, if there is a mistake that a user has done, you can create a relevant alert that tells, hey, you have done a mistake, and then we reflect the right color. So if there is a success, we can as well reflect the right color. If there's just information, we can as well reflect a right color on that alert. I believe if you have been using websites of lately, you have come across one of these user interfaces. For example, see this alert, we use it just to communicate something that was successfully done, because green naturally it shows that something is success or something is good. Then this one, we use it to create a danger or warning or something. Maybe someone entered wrong password, we can use this alert to tell them. Okay, so when you see red, of course you know something is not right, and then you know that I've done something wrong, so you can take the right action. And when you see green, of course your brain, even before you read anything, you know that everything is okay. So use these Bootstrap alerts to communicate. So you have the alert for success, you have alert for information, you have alert for warning, you have alert for danger, which is kind of red, you have alert of primary, you have alert of secondary, and alert of dark. And this is how they look like. So to create an alert, you just simply create a div and then put a class of alert. Then after, you put the contextual color, which can be alert success, alert danger, alert whatever. So let's practice that and we'll see how we can implement these Bootstrap alerts. So I'll come to my project and create another file and save it as number 8 underscore bootstrap alert.html. Then after, I'll go ahead and create the structure of HTML. Okay, and then I'll call this one Bootstrap alerts. Okay, then I'll come and remove this Jumbotron. Okay, so let's go ahead and create alert for success. Okay, div, and then after you can put your account was created successfully. Then you save. If you come and refresh, let's now open Ctrl-O and then open this number 8 file that we just created. You see your account was created successfully. But this one, until the user reads, that's when they will know that okay, everything is okay. But what if you just want to communicate before they even read by just use of colors? Then you come to Bootstrap contextual colors and alerts. So to communicate that this was success, we just simply add here a class of alert. So adding a class of alert only, it will be like this. It will not show any contextual color. Then after, you add the contextual color. So it can be alert success. Save and then come and refresh. You see, alert success, that kind of green. Okay, so someone will know, oh, everything is okay by just looking at the interface. Okay, so you cannot show this green beautiful color and then you say you entered the wrong password. That is irrelevant. Okay, but you can still do it, but it will be relevant. Okay, so I can put the danger here and then I say your account has been blocked for 3 weeks. Okay, so if I come and refresh, you see your account has been blocked for 3 weeks. Why? Because you put alert and then alert danger. So here you know that something is not right. Okay, something's not right. You can as well go ahead and bold a most important part by surrounding it with the B tag. So you can see here your account was blocked for 3 weeks. and that is in the red. So there is alert warning. Alert warning, for example, how can you implement it? You can say you maybe you can say, oops, you entered a wrong password. Three attempts remaining. So maybe this is just a warning. So if you refresh, you see it does not reflect anything. So let's go ahead and give it context. So you just simply put class alert, then alert success. Alert warning. Okay, alert warning. Save, come and refresh. So you can see the warning is yellow, green is red. I mean green success, red, almost even traffic colors, they use the same stuff. So practice so that you can understand these things within your brains. So we proceed after alerts, we proceed to something else called buttons. So these buttons, we use them to design buttons in a better way. Okay, so you have this basic button which does not have anything. Have a primary button. So these buttons, all of them, they are again also they rely on Bootstrap contextual colors, which are 9 colors. Primary, success, info, warning, danger, and then dark, and then light, and then button link. Okay, so to create a button, you just simply put btn and then followed by the contextual color. So it will be btn, then btn with a primary, btn with a success, btn, just like the way we did with what? With alerts. So let's go ahead and create Bootstrap buttons. So to do that, just simply create a new file. Just come here and click here and then create a new file. It's going to call the file number 9 underscore bootstrap button dot html. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy the structure and then come and put here bootstrap button easy, and then come and remove this garbage. So let's go ahead and create our first button. So create a first button, just simply put btn, div button, and then put maybe primary btn. Okay, so maybe primary button. Okay, so to do that, okay, so just a primary. Okay, to do that, so we'll have to come and first open Ctrl O. So let us run this. See, that's how the button looks like. Okay, so it does not have any class of Bootstrap that we have added. So let's go ahead and add a Bootstrap class here. So to do that, we just simply say class btn. So by just adding btn, the button will look like this. You see, it looks much more better than the way it was, but we have not specified whether it is a primary button or danger button or success button. So to do that, you add another class, put space, and add another class btn dash success, primary. By doing like that, you'll have something like this. Beautiful, so much beautiful. See, that's a button of primary. So let's go ahead and create another button. Primary, let's create that of success, and then just put here success, btn success. I can create another one, btn danger. So come here and put danger. Save, come refresh. You see, that's what we've got. Put here some beard tab so you can have enough separation. So refresh. You see, that's for success and danger. Success, primary, danger. Success, primary, danger. So that's how we create different contextual buttons of what? Of Bootstrap. So after doing that, time 17 minutes, okay? After doing that, we have more types of buttons of Bootstrap. We call them grouped buttons. So these buttons, you can as well size them. So if you want to size it, this one maybe you want to make it small, just put btn SM. So by adding btn SM, it will become much more smaller than default size. So if you want to make it big, just add another class btn-lg. By doing like that, that btn will be huge. If you have this btn to spend 100% of its container, this one, you see this one is small, huge, and then this one is just normal. So if you want it to spend 100% of its container, we just add another class called btn block. Okay, btn block, and then boom, it will be 100% of the container that contains it. You see, so that is block, that is large, that is small. Okay, so you can come and learn more about these Bootstrap buttons. You can as well disable button by adding btn disabled, or by adding disabled, then it will be blocked. You can create a spinner button by doing something like this, and then this button will have a what? A spinner. Okay. Fresh. Spinner button is not working. I think it needs JavaScript. Okay, something that will look like that. So that's all about buttons. Now go to group buttons. We're going to do them in the same file. So group buttons, we use them to design buttons that we want to group together. For example, some actions may need to be grouped. For example, we want to maybe edit, delete, and maybe create new, edit, delete, something like that. So those three buttons we want to do what? To put them together or group them. So for example, you can see these buttons, they are all grouped, yet there are three different buttons. So to create grouped buttons, first of all, you create a div, and then put a class of btn group, and then inside those buttons, inside that div or inside that container, you go ahead and put button, and then give a class like of normal button that we are doing. For example, let me show you. If I want to create a group button, what I'll do, I'll just first create a div first that's going to contain these grouped buttons, and then give a class of btn. You see, btn group, btn dash group. Then after, you put the buttons that you want. Okay, for example, I can do something like this, button, and then I put here class btn maybe info, which is edit, and then create another button and put a class btn danger, and I call it delete. Okay, so if I come and refresh, we'll have edit, delete, edit, delete, edit, delete. So you can see these two buttons are kind of grouped. Okay, so you can even group more than two buttons. Okay, so that's how we group buttons. As you can see here, we have grouped Samsung, Apple, and Sony. So you can group things that relate, like you can see that. You can as well group buttons and make them to be in form of vertical by putting btn group vertical, then it will look like these ones. So that's it about buttons and grouped buttons. We go to badges. So we use badges to communicate something which is so important. For example, if you go to Facebook, the first place where your eyes will reflect is where there is a badge to see if you have a new message or not. That counter is what we call a badge. So in Bootstrap, we have different badges that we may use. Okay, this is a badge, this is a badge, this is a badge, and these are grouped in few. We can also use contextual colors to design these badges. As you can see, these are different badges. So let us go ahead and create a badge for ourselves. So to create a badge, I'll just simply come and create a new file that I'm going to call N S 10_ bootstrap badges.html. Then after doing that, let me close other things, right click, and then say close others. Okay, so I'll come and put here bootstrap badges. Okay, so remove this, and then let's go ahead and create a badge. So to create a badge, we use it just to do what? To communicate something. Okay, so to do that, we just simply write a span tag and then put class of badge and then badge the context color. So it can be badge secondary, badge warning, badge whatever. Okay, so if I come and refresh here, you'll have, let me open the badge file. So if I come and refresh, you'll see something like that. It's not a button, but it's what? It's a badge. Okay, so let's go ahead and create. So this badge, you can change it also to what? Different colors. Can be badge warning, that can be badge danger. Okay, so you just put the class of badge and then followed by the contextual color. Okay, badge and then the contextual color. So after that, we have these badges. You can design them in form of a pill or in form of a circle. So if you want to look like this one, you put badge pill, then it will look like kind of a pill. So these badges, you can use them to create something like this. For example, you see this one, how they will implement this badge in different user interface. For example, if I say that I want to tell someone has 3 messages. So to do that, we just simply put, for example, button, and then say this button, and then you put class btn danger, and then come and put here span, and then class badge, class, and then put class badge, and then badge light. Yeah, badge light, because it should be opposite to the background. So let me make it badge light, so it will be kind of white color, and maybe say 14 messages. Okay, so I put here some kind of message, or maybe you could put notifications. So save, come and refresh, you'll have something like that. Notifications 14. So this white thing that you're seeing there is what we call a what? Is what we call a badge. So we use it to communicate information to the user with simplicity. So that's what we call what? That's what we call badges. If you go to YouTube, show you. If you go to YouTube, you'll see badges here. Just because I don't have any notification, let me switch my YouTube to another one. Okay, it is loading slowly. I don't have notifications today. Sorry. I don't have notifications, but you have understood what's meant by badge, something that we'll see here that is counting. For example, this notification, you see it counting. So that's what you call a what? That's what you call a badge. So let us proceed and create progress bars. So use progress bars to communicate, to show the progress of anything. Assume that you want to show something is done by a certain percentage. So you may need to use what? A progress bar. So this is how we use progress bars. For example, to create a progress bar, you just simply create a div. After creating a div, you give it progress. You give it a class of progress, and then inside it you create another div and give it a class of progress bar, and then create some simple style and then fill it with what? With a certain percentage that want to be filled. So if you want to show this progress asynchronous, changing, maybe you're uploading a file, so want this progress changing, keep on changing. So you change this percentage, okay? And that's how you show what? That's how you create progress. Let's go ahead and create a single progress band, you see. So to do that, I will come and create a new file and save it. Just come and click here and save it as 11_progress_bars.html. So in that progress bar, let's go ahead and put your bootstrap progress bars. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our progress bar. So you come and here Ctrl O, 11, there's nothing there. So let's go ahead and create a progress bar. To create a progress bar, so I've created a progress bar file. So to create a progress bar, we'll just simply create a div and then give it a class of what? Of progress. And then after we create another div inside it and give it a class of progress bar. Okay, so come inside here and create another div and give it a class of progress bar. Then that div we give it a percentage. Yeah? So to give it a percentage, you just simply write here style, and then give it a width of maybe 30%. So by doing like this div is going to be filled by 30%. Let's go ahead and open progress bar, refresh. You see, we've got that. So that's the progress bar, which is having 30% and stopping from here. So if we go ahead and change maybe to 80%, refresh, you see it is almost full. So we go ahead and vary that this percentage to show how far a process has gone. So if you say you're creating a learning management system, you can use this progress bar to show how much a student has gone with the course. So you just be changing this percentage, and then the progress bar will be changing its width. So if I put maybe 95%, you can go ahead and see it is this much filled. Okay, so that is progress bar for you in Bootstrap. So there are more classes. You can reduce its height by simply adding here in style and put height, for example, 20 pixels. So I add here in the style attribute, put semicolon, add another thing. So if I reduce its height by 20 pixels, it will look like this. Okay, so if I put 10 pixels, sorry, see, it is looking that much. Okay, so let me remove this sizing. So that is the div. That's the progress bar. We can go ahead and the style. The height you put on top, not in the progress bar itself. You put it in in the surrounding progress container. So you have progress bar labels. You can as well put the label or the sizing. For example, you can put here maybe 70%, maybe complete. So save, come and refresh, and the progress bar will show 70% complete. But is it 70? Put here 70% complete. So put maybe 40% complete. Put here 40% complete. Come and refresh. You see, it is 40% complete. So that is how progress bar will look like. Beautiful. So, and that's how you can put there the context. So this progress bar can also be changed to different contextual colors, as how Bootstrap always does it. So you can come here and add another class and then say progress. Maybe change the BG dark. So this progress bar is going to be a dark progress bar. So come and refresh. You see, it's a dark progress bar. So that's how progress bar. You can even make it kind of light, kind of stripped. So by just simply adding progress bar stripped. So if you add progress bar stripped, it will look like this. You see, it's having some strips there. You can even make it live, but I think this animated, just adding a class progress bar animated in this progress bar. So progress bar animated, it will make it kind of animated. Can you see? It's kind of animated. I'll show you. You just add this class progress bar animated, so to look as if it is moving. Let me make it primary. BG primary. So refresh. So can you see? Looks as if it is moving. Yeah? So by adding progress bar animated. So that's all about progress bar. You can even change its colors. Okay, so that's all about what? Progress bar. We can go to spinners. Use them to spin. That one will skip. Pagination will skip. We'll go to lists. Okay, spinners, there's nothing but use them to show the progress also. Okay, you just simply write class and then spin and then you change the text color. Okay, and then you'll have something like this, which is really straightforward and simple in that way. So go to Bootstrap lists. So we use Bootstrap lists to create different lists of elements. For example, if you want to make a list that looks like as beautiful as this one, we use what we call Bootstrap lists. So let's go ahead and create a Bootstrap group list and we see how we can implement those on in our project. So I'll come here and click on a new file and then make it number 12, bootstrap.what.html, and then come and copy this, paste it here. So I'm going to call this one Bootstrap group lists. Remove this. So you can come here and put some countries. So OUL, and say LI. Come and put Uganda. Come and put Kenya. Come and put Tanzania. Come and put Somalia. Come and put Congo. Come and put Egypt, and maybe Burundi. So we have our list. Let's go ahead and see how a default list, before we do anything, how it looks like. So we'll go here to our file and open Ctrl-O, and then come and open Bootstrap lists. So you see, that's how our normal plain list look like. So if you want to make Bootstrap group lists, what you do, you just add this class list group. It will make it do what? It will make it look like this kind of. Bootstrap will handle it and remove these borders and make it a group list. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this class and we see how it looks like. So I'll come here and add class list group, then come and refresh. We'll have something like that. So after you create a list group, each element you have to give this class list group item. Each element you have to give it a class of list group item. So I'll come here and add class list group item. So let me go ahead and copy that and add it on each element. I'll add it here, I'll add it here, I will add it here, and here, and here, and here. So I save, I come and refresh. You can see we're having that beautiful list. Can you see? It's really beautiful. Okay, so it will remove those borders and the rest, and then make it a little bit more with these lines and to look like that. So to do that, we achieve it by adding these classes of Bootstrap. So let's proceed with Bootstrap list. You can add class of item active, and then that item will be kind of bolded than others. So I can just simply come here and put maybe East Africa. Okay, so and come and add this title to become active. So this title, add a class of what? Of active. So if I come and refresh, I'll have something like that. You see, East Africa, which is title, and a little bit different from these others. Okay, so that's how we create list. We can make this list to become you can make this list to become in form of links. So instead of putting li, we just put a tag, and instead of surrounding with oul, we surround it with a div. By doing like that, we'll create a list of links that is that is really clickable, as you can see here. So that's how you can design this list. You can disable an item by just simply adding a class of disabled. So if I come here into Somalia and add disabled, this class will appear as if it is it has been disabled. Can you see? Even the text will be a little bit different from others. Okay, so that's how you create Bootstrap Bootstrap lists. You can even change this list to horizontal, and then it will appear as if it is it is horizontal. So you come here and add list group horizontal, list group horizontal. Sorry, instead of adding list group, just make it list group horizontal. Then it will be in horizontal, but because the space is too little, that's why it's not being horizontal. Okay, so that's all about list groups. And then you can also change the contextual color by just adding the list group items, success, danger, and info. So that's it about lists. You can come and play with them more. You can even add this list and then put the counting here by adding the badge. Okay, so that's it about lists. Come and play with them. In the next lecture, we'll begin with the cards, and then we proceed maybe up to modal, up to carousel, and then we'll go to something else, to grid system. Maybe grid system will be after the next class. If time will allow, we'll cover it in the next class. Otherwise, keep on practicing, and then let us meet in the next in the next video. See you. Before you end, first do this. Before you finish, first come to your GitHub and push. In fact, I forgot to do that. You have to make sure that you push. So I'll switch to where my project is, which is on Learn Web, is here, and then I make sure that I commit maybe new changes. Commit every time you finish a programming session, commit and push, so that your changes or your repository should always be updated. Okay, I'm not logged into that account. That's why. Anyway, let me push. I'll just pull. Okay, thanks for watching, and we meet in the next video. But don't forget to push. See you there.